Necessary.
Sinead Walsh
Jay Woodard.
in the house. What is the crack, girl?
What is up, my friend?
Glad to have you.
No, just thanks for having me, man. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. What's going on?
So myself and you met 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It was
Here,
2 years ago
actually.
in Republic of Work.
The very gaff.
Proudly sponsored. Well, I shouldn't say proudly sponsored because some stuff we say is edgy. But they let
Tweets
us,
are my own opinion,
yeah,
exactly.
This podcast is my own and no one else's opinion. But shout out to Republic of Work for letting us use the studio and sponsoring the studio for us, as always.
Thanks, lads.
It's class, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
I keep talking about it. People are going so pissed off. I keep talking about the studio in the podcast. I'm like, yeah.
When I listen to the podcast, I don't know what it is. It's obviously from watching videos and stuff, but I always want to be watching the video,
Yeah.
even though I have it on Spotify. But I want to be seeing
That's the thing
it.
is,
You know?
it's moving more and more into video. I
Okay.
watch my podcasts. If I'm not traveling, I'll watch the podcast at home.
That's class.
Have a night time. Not
Yeah.
my podcast, sorry. As in Joe Rogan, whatever I'm watching, Below the Belt or whatever the podcast I'm watching.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, I agree with you totally. I don't know what it is, but I have an urge to see what's happening,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But then I listen to Off the Menu with James Acaster and Ed Gamble as well,
Okay.
and that's fine. I'll listen to that
I've
in the
never
commute.
ever heard of that.
It's kind of brilliantly stupid, but also really good. So it's two comedians,
Yeah.
James Acaster's
Yeah,
obviously, so and Ed, and they interview. So they've had loads of people like Selassie from Great British Bake Off and stuff.
Okay.
And it's literally just, hey, what's your if you could dream up your own menu, what would
Yeah.
it be? And the two boys are just goofy
Nice.
and hilarious.
So it's good crack, is
yeah.
it?
So yeah, it's
I
an
check
easy
that as I'm a foodie. Well, a self-proclaimed foodie.
Me and you both.
Do you know?
I'm looking more
sure.
like it every day.
Well, I have the claim of donuts. That's my claim to fame is, I did donuts for a while. But checkered past. A checkered past, some would say.
Listen, a grey past.
Talk to me.
What's up?
Stand-up comedy, kid.
I know.
What the fuck happened? So let's go
Dude.
back. So
Okay.
Sinead is the marketing manager for the entire Mardyke complex.
Entertainment complex, yes.
Excuse me, the entertainment complex. So, and then obviously the Wonky Donkey opened up.
Yeah.
Was it the lads that kind of kicked? Do you know what? Just go. You tell me the story.
Yeah,
I'm semi-proud.
basically what happened was I started in the Mardyke Entertainment Complex this month last year actually, and
Shit, really?
yeah.
Fuck.
So I know,
I
man,
remember
time
that.
flies.
Yeah, because I'm only here 10 months as well. So I think you just started before me, wasn't it?
That's
in
right.
Republic of Work.
That's right, and I remember you were the first person I got onto as well
Yeah.
about linking up because the donut burger and Holy Smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
So I knew it was obviously a big undertaking and whatever, and threw myself at it for a few months, and then kind of a couple of months in, what was Porterhouse, so that wasn't anything when I started there because Porterhouse
Yeah.
had pulled all their franchise and stuff.
Oh
So
shit, that
they
was a
were-
franchise. Oh, it was too, because Porterhouse in Dublin, wasn't it? Was that the same franchise?
That's right, yeah. So
Okay.
they just went back to being a brewery and stuff like that. I think they might still have some of their Dublin stuff all right, but I
Okay.
think the owner passed away, I think is what it was. And
Okay.
So so they had pulled all that. So that was an unused kind of extension of Holy Smoke.
Yeah.
So my boss turned around to me and was like, I want you to do a bit of market research on a few ideas, so comedy being one, cinemas, burlesque, blah blah blah. Loads. He had loads of different things. So we kind of sent out a survey
Burlesque
and
would have
things
been
like that. And
class.
so I thought they were going to go for a bit of pick and mix, I suppose. And then he turned around and he was like, "So we're setting up a comedy club," and I
Okay.
was like, okay,
Yeah.
unreal. And so it's basically, the area is now called the Cellar Theatre and the club is called Wonky Donkey.
Yeah.
So he got Mike Morgan and Ross Brown involved, which was also awesome. So I was a little bit starstruck. I hope that doesn't sound too brown nosy, but no, I'd seen Ross a couple of times. I'd seen Mike a couple of
Okay.
times. I love Mike. He's he's the most charming Jack Russell in the world. and I had kind of been writing anyway. I had found myself with a lot of free time in my hands, as you know, kind of about this time last year. So, I'd been writing bits and pieces anyway. And then obviously we went into fully fledged business launch mode. So sweating for about 4 months trying to get the place open.
I remember you
and
stressed
all that.
as fuck.
Listen, the old lost a lot of weight, was good. The old stress diet. My granny was like, "You look great." I was like, "I feel not that." And I think I made a joke to Mike in November or something. I said something along the lines of, maybe someday I'll write material for you and you'll actually have good jokes for once. And
Rookie mistake.
I know, right? And he was like, why would you just not do it? And I was like, I couldn't do that. That's not me. And he was like, why not? and that's pretty much how that started. So then he made me kind of commit to doing a gig at some point in February, and then the wonderful Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan in Coco Club was like, yeah, middle of February, let's do it. It was a Monday night. The most terrifying experience of my life, but oh my god, it's just what's happened since has been...
I couldn't make it, and you sent me the video of that night. It was fucking brilliant. Well done. For the first time, come on, like, you killed it, like.
Yeah, for the first time, it's alright. And it's funny now, like, you know, I was proud of myself or whatever, which it doesn't happen very often, but and now looking back, even I can see like the development, you know what I mean, and stuff. But yeah, no, geez, I couldn't have asked for a better.
So you've done 3, 4 gigs?
Dude, I done my 14th
on
Thursday.
Dude.
Yeah. So I've just been like gig.
Fuck,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
So, no, not at all.
And now
no.
you're on the... It's funny because you're on the bill for the place that you're marketing for.
Yeah, it's honestly...
You're on the Wonky Donkey Club bill.
Friday. Yeah.
Nicely done.
So I'm...
Congratulations.
I can't even put it into words. Thank you so much. Like, it sounds really kind of juvenile, but like... This is like a dream, like, do you know what I mean? Because like I know the calibre of people we've had in there.
Sure, we've had Scott.
Yeah, Scott Capurro. Like, come on, man.
Unbelievable.
Willie Robbo. What a day. Like, I could go, I could sit here, I could sit here for years and talk about some of the guys that have graced our stage, but like for Mike to give me that opportunity, you know,
fair play to him.
What a man. Like, again, not brown nosing, but I'm just going to say it here now. That guy has given me every opportunity, and he's done so much for me. So, yeah, no, you know, and
might get him on the show actually and chat to him.
Yeah, do. He's very interesting. He's hilarious, which you would trust that he is. But you know, most of us are depressed the rest of the time. We're not on stage. But listen.
So what's the fear? So not the fear, but what's the setup for it? You've written 5 minutes. You've worked that down to a bone. Yeah. And now you've started writing more, or you're still working the 5 minutes and you're still building, or...
Yeah, so it's everyone approaches it differently. But like I'm fortunate if I done journalism in college, and I've always kind of been a bit of an English writer head and all that kind of stuff. So the writing aspect of it comes fairly naturally to me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not something so someone said to me recently, when you're looking at a comedian, you've either got like a writer or a performer, and obviously if you've both, that's great. But like, you know, people are generally stronger in one area or the other, and like the writing seems to come naturally enough to me. So it was always just about like, okay, how do I go out there and perform it? But yeah, so I'd start writing stuff, and like, you know, Mike gave me great advice. So like, he taught me some things. So he was like, you know, say the truth of threes. So if I'm listing something, so say one of the lines I have is, you know, all vegans are doing are trying to eat in a way that's healthy, good for the environment, and cruelty free. So that satisfies your brain when you're exactly. And then there's like little other techniques like callbacks, you know, where you might say plan something at the beginning of a joke and call back at the end of a set or whatever it may be. So yeah, and then it was all about kind of topics then, and Mike was like, you know, without being too explicit about it, he was like, you're a queer woman that has an allergy to nuts and things like that, you know. I know. I suppose it is offensive charm. I'm probably the most offensive person I know.
And you're our first female.
That is awesome.
Yes. Congratulations. You're our first female.
Yes, man. I'm first female
shit, we have no women on this podcast. We need to get women on this podcast.
I like, as standard of women goes, I feel like I'm pretty low, to be honest. I'm a bad woman.
Bro, I'm delighted you're the first.
Thank you so much. That's absolute honour. No. So Mike was like, you know, you've got such an unusual take on the world. So like, for years I've always said, like, you know, I'm the lesbian with the nut allergy because I do have a peanut allergy, you know what I mean? So that literally became my intro then.
That's a perfect joke.
Oh, literally. That's my intro, you know. So now I'm working on different stuff at the moment. So yeah, it's funny, like, you think you have a perfect thing and then you get up and you walk around with your hairbrush in your hand in the kitchen. No lie, that's actually what I do when I practice.
What is it?
I literally take my hair.
Dead right. Dead. Which the actors at the whole time looking at mirrors, I'm guessing, do they?
Dude, like, there's a neighbour at the back of my house. So
the crazy lesbians out to get Linda.
Yeah, exactly. I live in Mayfield, right? So there's two, like,
don't get cats. You're crazy enough is don't get fucking cats
or a pink tool belt. But like, yeah. So there's this couple that live at the back, like their house backs onto our house or whatever, and like they hang out the window. He's topless, she's in her pajamas, smoking joints, and they see me walking back and forth in the kitchen. I'm sure it's
after
like
a tree, like.
Listen, I don't judge them, they don't judge me. I hope if they do, I'm hanging them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Talk about them on stage anyway.
Exactly.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's funny, you know. And again, Mike said he was like, you'll never really know what works and what doesn't until you're on
until it falls flat in your face.
Exactly. Or you know, people. I think James Acaster said recently in one of his things on Netflix, he was like, okay, sometimes the audience see things that's funny, and you know, you just have to go with it, kind of thing. And that's so true. Like, you know, I frequently to be in the middle of a line and people are busting their gut laughing, and I'm like, whoa. Okay, go on, I'll let you have it, so go on, you know. So it's amazing. It's the best buzz.
I'd say it's tricky enough though to take a mental check of what worked and didn't work, or is it that feeling of no, that definitely didn't work, and it killed? Like, you can tell obviously when something kills, but when something doesn't work, there's, I'm guessing, that feeling in the gut going, oh, you bollocks.
Oh, shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, totally.
And
like,
you just have to keep moving. Keep moving up.
100%. And like, you need to take the little wins, and like, how do I put this? So like, my first couple of gigs, complete wide out. I have no idea what happened on stage, bar when I've watched the videos back, and that's so important, is recording yourself as well, like, so you can see what I do wrong and where the laughs are.
Sorry to interrupt, I've heard professionals on podcasts saying they record every show they do and listen back them when they're going home 100%. Or they're travelling, they listen back, and it's like, fucking hell. Like, sometimes I listen to the podcast back to see if I fucked up anything, but at the same time I'm like, oh,
I know.
My wife is sick of hearing my voice and seeing my face. So she's like, don't play.
How could she be? I love listening to you. Although, do you know what? One of my mates texted me earlier and he was like, hey, when's that podcast released? And I was like, oh, I'll let you know. And he was like, I went to listen to an episode of it there. So he's been living in Australia for the last like 4 years. And he always slags me about living in Cork. He's like, Cork's a kip, what are you doing? And I'm like, Cork's the best place ever. But anyway. And then he was like, 5 minutes in, can't listen to that accent. I was like, are you joking?
Really?
I was like, Jay's accent is like the thing. But then he was like, I'm only messing. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, do you know what I mean? Keane has more of an accent. Yeah, fair.
Probably that's what it was.
Let's blame Keane. Yeah.
I was in Dwars having lunch today, and
what's that like, by the way?
It's nice. I like it. Yeah,
you check it
out. The lads are good lads, and I know a lot of musicians who are playing in there and stuff. So it's kind of it's a nice little spot.
Yeah.
But one of the old managers of Reardon's was in there having his lunch, and he came over and he hit me in the chest. That fucking podcast. He goes, your wife must love you. You're in a better relationship than I am anyway. The fucking shit you're saying. And I was like, I'm just. He goes, we think it. You fucking say it. I was like, that's what it is. Like,
that's it. Like, I actually, it's funny you bring this up because what was it you said? You said something about porn or something. It wasn't the last show. It was the show before that. And I was just, I laughed out loud because I was like.
Because it's either you've done it or something's happened and you're like, oh jeez.
Listen.
Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? So Friday night. Excited.
Dream come true. Yes,
this will be out before then, so if you want to.
Okay, plug it. Tickets available on Eventbrite. No, you can find tickets for the Wonky Donkey show. So I'll just give you the rundown of the lineup. It's Patzer Murray is headline. So Patzer, which is what he actually goes by. He's been in Love Hate. He's been doing stand up for years now. Jeez, I think. It could be like 8 or 9 years, I think, now he's been doing the circuit. He's hilarious. He's from Ballyfermot, and in Dublin we always say if someone's from Ballyfermot they have to tell you they're from Ballyfermot. So but he's born, bred and buttered in Dublin, and he's fantastic. I got to see him last year in the Wonky Donkey as well, and he knocked it out of the park. And I find sometimes with Dublin comedians, Cork audiences can be a bit like
they welcome Americans really well, which is, I guess, just the accent.
100%.
The whole dub thing.
100%. Like, so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I get up and insult myself first thing straight off the bat, so that kind of warms them.
You need to technique. Take the blade away from them.
It's like, yes, look, I know. No, but he's phenomenal. He won the crowd over so well. He's really, really good. Then there's Laura O'Mahony from Cahoots.
Oh yeah, I know
Laura. Her tagline, I was writing the bio obviously because I do the event for all the events and stuff. Yeah. And her tagline was Laura O'Mahony is the funniest woman in Cork. So
this bitch.
Not at all. I'm not arguing. She's hilarious, but
and are you on before her?
Yeah. Mike's done that on purpose. Yeah,
that's another line. And here's the funniest woman in Cork.
Listen, big love for Laura, man.
She
big
was
love for
Teachers. Is it Schooled?
She
had this show on RT called Schooled.
Yeah, that's right.
She's in the Cahoots, not CC Cahoots. Everyone's like, oh, the CC Cahoots. Like, lads, it's Cahoots.
Let's just go with it.
But no, they're good. I like their stuff.
Yeah, no, they are. They're funny, and her Instagram stories alone are a skit, like, you know. But I'm so stoked to see her. I can't wait. And then there's the majestic Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. So he is. I don't know if you've seen him before.
I might have.
He runs Cork Comedy Club, and he also runs. So they're every Monday and Wednesday in the Roundy, and then
not the very tall fella.
No, that's Tony Two Shoes.
Okay.
Tony runs it with him as well.
Because I used to have the shop across the way, and every day I was closing. Every Wednesday I was leaving. It was like free comedy, free comedy, and I was like, I'm literally just finished. I got to lodge money. Like I can't, bro. I would love to, but I can't.
Two of the hardest hustlers I've ever met in my life. Like, man, Jesus, Con is running the Kingdom Comedy Club in Killarney as well. So
in the Shire.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Absolutely class club, beautiful venue, really nice room. I'm doing all the plugging here today,
Killarney,
but no. What?
You know I'm from Killarney.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, just selling you. Killarney as well is a beautiful little.
I was on a plane going to wherever. I think we were going to Miami, myself and Kev, way back, about 10, 15 years. No, about 10 years ago or so. Yeah. And some guy, hey, where are you guys from? And we're like, oh, we're from Killarney, south of Ireland. Ah, fuck, man, that's the Las Vegas of Ireland. I was like, what the fuck did you do in Killarney? Like,
listen, I'm obviously doing Killarney wrong.
Yeah, but then again, the amount of fucking brothels that's been closed down in Killarney and all this shit. Oh, and it was like cops running them and shit. I was like, technically, this is last. Like,
listen, well, it's called the Ring of Kerry for a reason, I suppose.
We're doing Killarney wrong anyway. That's for fucking sure.
For sure, man. I think we need to go on a weekend to Killarney. Me and you figure it out. That's one thing I can't get over in Cork. Actually, is the amount of Thai massage parlours.
See, this is it. And we've had this conversation before. Not us, but with the lads. And it's like, have you ever done one? No, have you? No, sure, be fucking seen going in there. That's the main reason. That's the reason people are holding back from going in. They want to do it. They'll happily spend it. It's whatever, the 80, 90 euro. But they'll be seen go in, so they don't.
100%.
Like, I'm pretty sure you can Google Rub and Tug's Cork, and then you'll see a Rub and Tug map of reviews, articles. She was too rough now, and I was like, Jesus Christ, lads, there's some subculture here. Legalise it, lads. Legalise it, tax it.
100%. Protect them. You know what I mean?
Everyone's happy.
Listen,
literally.
Quite literally.
Literally, everyone's happy.
I remember I used to work in Otterbox, and I went to I can't think of the name of the Thai restaurant. Just across the quay from it, on Father Matthew Street, just around the corner.
Sago,
isn't it? So yeah. So literally just beside it is
Slim Thai something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like around the corner.
Thai Wellness. Yeah. And I was going in to get my.
So dingy looking.
The dirty curtains just do it for me. Like, as a woman, like when I'm walking by, I'm like.
What happens if you want a massage? Do they know how to massage you?
I don't know. Like, do you know what?
Do they massage
you
properly?
Test that theory?
How do I tell my wife that? Yeah. Myself and Shane are going together.
Do you want me to test that theory?
Red Raw. She didn't know what she was doing.
All expenses paid. I walked
Fingernails.
out.
I was hurt. Never mind.
Yeah. But I was going in to get my lunch in Sago, and I saw one of the girls walk from Thai Wellness or whatever it's called into Sago, and I was like, is that a split shift? Like, what is that?
She was working.
So I just kept walking.
She washed her hands.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
I was like, oh.
I was like, forget it.
She
get
probably
ramen.
does, though.
Forget it.
Yeah. Well, I remember I was in Portugal. Myself and Keane were in Portugal. Whatever, 2017 and 17. Yeah, four of us.
Class.
It actually wasn't. It was so. It's so gay. It's so nice.
That's lovely.
It's like there was four of us. We drank one night. Well, we tipped away most nights. Of course. But one night we hit it hard.
Yeah.
It's like nice food, just chilled. I was like, the fuck are we? Like 70? But anyway, we got massages. Yeah. And I was like, obviously we didn't want to be seedy. We didn't want rubbing tugs. We're happily married. All that stuff. And then, so they brought us downstairs. Like a beautiful upstairs, like all the proper rugs and the curtains is all like high end. You're like, cool. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it was like half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 55. Or sorry, an hour, 45 minutes were 40 for €4. Sorry, half an hour for €40.
Okay.
Full hour, €55. Something like that. I was like, I'm going the full hour. King got the half an hour. But they brought us down to this shitty dungeon-looking place with shitty things on the walls.
See, no, I'd be gone then.
And then, but we were beside each other on beds. There was no curtain. There was nothing.
Oh my god!
So here, and I'm like, because I have kind of a stiff enough back, so she's digging into my back. I have bruises on my back after. And Keen, because our heads are down, you can't see what's going on. He's like, is he being jerked off? Is he actually being jerked off? Because here's all this noise in the oil. And the oil, I'm like, is he being jerked off? He's like, is he being jerked off?
Am I not being jerked off?
Yeah. You fucking better not come on me.
Exactly. I have.
We were literally a foot away.
Yeah, you're like, can we hold hands? Is that okay? I have a question. Probably wildly inappropriate, so feel free to edit this out. If you're getting a massage and you get like a stiffy, does that not hurt? Like,
the thing is, supposedly when they say turn over, it's their problem. You're not supposed to care about it.
Okay.
Supposedly it's a natural thing that happens. Obviously, if someone's rubbing you down, they're somewhat attractive. Not even like if they're a good 5. Yeah. They're rubbing you down. You're still going to get a bit of a horn.
Sensations, yeah.
So I think it's just their job to maneuver around it, and I don't think that's where the offer comes in sometimes, I think.
Okay.
Will I look after this or whatever? I think. I have never got a fucking hand job.
You heard it here.
In a fucking rub and tug.
It's called Offence Charm.
But,
amazing.
I think it's just you deal with it. It's like,
okay.
I've heard people get hit with spoons, kind of puts it down.
Oh,
I've heard
Jesus.
Yeah. That's the thing, it shocks the whole thing so good.
Yeah, I don't even have one, and I'm like, mother of God. I always say I'm so glad I'm not a boy, because I would not have as many friends as I do. My boner would give me away every single time. I have this nasty habit of making friends with really attractive people. You all know who you are. But
shout out,
shout out
you
to the gals. I always wondered that, like, you know, like, if especially while you're still facing down, like, is it like a tenting situation?
Well, just tucks into the belly button.
Okay.
That was the trick. It's like math class, up into the waistline.
See very clearly.
Every teenage boy will tell you they got, well, I mean, not tell you, but they got a boner in maths class.
Of course.
Male or female teacher, doesn't matter. I think it's because we're so confused to fucking there. We're like, well, and your mind just wanders or something, or the blood's like, nah, down to your head. And then you're just good to go. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Now the bell's gone off. I have a fucking raging heart on. And I'm like, well, let's be tucking to the bell. So you do the movement. So I'm guaranteed, like, you could see the lads with the arse kind of pucked out and they're like trying to leave the classroom with the coats on. Go, next class.
Or the bag on the front. I've heard that's a thing as well.
Yeah, holding it. Just, better half there. It's a fucking curse, like. It actually is a curse, like.
I'm sure when you woke up this morning, you didn't think you'd have a lesbian in your show talking about boners, but I'm delighted personally.
I always expect this.
Education.
Let's call it that, for fuck's sake.
I went to an all-girls school for primary and secondary school. My mother obviously knew what she was doing.
Was that fun? Was that fun for you?
The last couple of years were particularly fun, yeah. I don't know, it was like a Loretto, right? It was a nuns, like run by nuns.
Even better.
So I could definitely write a skit about this, or a really bad porn, one or the other.
Just your version of Derry Girls.
Yes. Balbriggan Girls.
Yeah, Balbriggan.
Balbriggan Motts. But, so yeah, Friday.
And the callback.
Yeah,
there you go.
Callback, there you go. That's it. That's what. Listen, I'm always working, I'm always hustling. Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan also playing, and Cornelius is fantastic. He has a background in. He is he'd be like third from. I'd kind of be bottom rung. Then be, I guess Con, Laura, and then Pater, but I'm not sure what way.
Okay.
It really
Mike
depends. Mike is the host,
15,
so yeah,
he
does. Yeah, he introduces them all. He does 15, the top 15 after the break and all that kind of stuff. Mike's gearing up for a show in Mallow at the moment, so he's from Mallow.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 250 seater in the High B Hotel in Mallow,
Sweet.
and that is. Oh man, I'm a shit friend. The 7th of June.
So is that his first hour?
That would be, I'd say thereabouts. Yeah. So he's gonna kill it, man. Do you know when you? So I always say I could do 15. I can do 5 minutes of my own material. I can do 15s of Mike's because I've just seen him so much. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, no one can do it like him. But I don't know what it is with him. But lately, and like he's gigging like crazy, but he has just hit this. Like his energy, everything on stage at the moment, he's just hitting it at the right time. Like he's peaking at the right time, and I know
he's got it straight.
He's gearing up for this show, like, do you know what I mean? And he's just, man, the difference in him between now and this time last year when I first saw him in City Limits, he's an animal.
I saw him in City Limits as well. City Limits,
must have
been a year ago. As well. And was that just starting out for him, or has he been in the game?
He's been in the game. Oh, dude, I mean, like proper at it, I'd say about 2.5, 3 years maybe.
Okay.
And he went full time at it there. It was over a year ago.
Nice.
He was doing sales with us in Mardyke for a while. But yeah, no, he was like, you know,
tough game, I'd say. Full time.
Jesus, like, you know,
full time is tough game.
Man, like, he gigs everywhere. Like, I literally ring him sometimes. I'm like, where are you today? And he's like, I'm in Galway now, kid. And then I'm going back to Limerick for tomorrow. And then I'm like, Jesus, mother. You know, like, you know.
He was in Bray with Scott and he brought Scott down.
That's right.
Do you know
That's right. He carried Scott
Bray.
down.
It's like,
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's going to Brighton. For as far as I know, he's going to
that's what you
Eddie. Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Because, like, it's not like a musician where... Well, then again, musicians they don't make money off albums anymore. So it's live shows and merch.
100%.
So the comedians only, like, unless it's merch and live shows as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you know what I mean? Because they're not going to sell a CD, realistically. Who's listening to a comedy CD?
Or a DVD, unless you're Tommy Tiernan. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Christmas kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah. No, there's Chris Kent, who is from Cork as well. But he's absolutely phenomenal, and I could not recommend seeing him more. But he has a joke about how a guard basically, or the Dowell office contacted him because he gave up his job as an electrician. And, you know, and he was doing comedy full time, unpaid for like a year and a half, which is fairly standard. And your man was investigating him. He was like, "There's an awful lot of money in comedy, boy," and he was like, "It's a complete lie. Like, there's absolutely not a
2
cent."
seconds
like,
there, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Eating beans on toast.
I got literally, like, I got my first paid gig there a couple of weeks ago in Killarney. Con handed me a $5 when I got off stage. He was like, "You absolutely killed it. Here's a $5," and I was like, straight in the Guinness. You know what I mean?
It's true, like.
But that's it. Like,
that's the thing as well. I'm wondering because. So, this is the business mind of me now.
Go for it.
When it happens like that, is that an invoice scenario that you invoice them as a separate entity? So you have to set up a Sinead Walsh Limited or sole trader, and then invoice, and then hope it's paid. But like clubs and pubs are 30 days, and then you're fucking waiting and chasing, and
like you have.
Fuck, that's tough.
I know, and like that's I literally just remember there a comedian sent me an invoice.
Jumped from hard-ons in math class to invoicing and limited companies,
fat rates, and like,
just bear with us.
It's funny you said that. I literally just remembered there. I got an invoice from one of the comedians from last weekend. And I have to send it to accounts, so I'm gonna do that after. But so in Mardyke, because the way we're set up, we ask comedians to invoice us, but we are actually probably one of the only clubs around that do that. So like a lot of it, the guys would get paid. On the night or maybe after or whatever, and
cash
or bank lodgement or whatever it may be. But I've met a couple of comedians now who walk straight in the door and they're like, "Can I have my money now, please?" before they get on stage, you know. And then they always make the same joke as well, where they're like, "Oh, okay, see you later," you know, when you give it to them. But like I, you know, it's funny. It's just. It's an interesting education in terms of I get so weird about asking people for money, you know, like some people are like that, some people aren't or whatever, and I'm trying to, you know, just in business or whatever, I'm trying to
just cut it.
Exactly, just have to.
Money, like.
I've seen my dad suffer because of it. He used to have his own company, and like me and him are exactly the same person basically. So but you know, and I always knew that was a thing for him. Like, he hated chasing people for money, and I have the same thing. You have to, man. And I've watched some of the boys like now, you know, walk in the club and just say it and do it, and it's not like you think less of them for it or anything, you know. So
it's like me. If I didn't get paid in a certain day I expect to be paid, I'm like, where the fuck's my money? Like,
dead right.
I did a job.
Dead right. So where are you? Upend the place.
Where is that? Just trash the place.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So it's interesting. I really feel like I'm at an advantage here in a way. Like, obviously I have the greatest people in the world around me, you know, in terms of like educate me, show me the way. But apart from that, I'm looking at how the business works. I'm looking at where people let you down, where people, you know, and all that kind of stuff, and what's wrong, what's right, and that kind of thing. And like, to be fair, it's not my club, like, do you know what I mean? So it's good that I'm so involved, but still at an arm's length, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see who's and why they fucked up, or why they let you down, or who fucked up, or
or like budget-wise.
If the club fucks up, why did the club fuck up, and
100%. So
it's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Smart angle.
And listen, you know, like I said, I was watching the guys have all the fun for ages, and then I was like, why don't I get to have this kind of fun?
It's
so
true,
you know,
it's kind of like it's very like me, where I'm in here. I'm marketing for here. I'm seeing all these businesses grow around me. I'm seeing what's working, what's not working. I'm taking note. I'm going, okay, cool. Oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah, cool. That person handshake this, and it's just, again, you have to be aware of everything.
Of course.
Like, we're in the same boat where we have 6 products to market for the one brand kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And it's tough as fuck.
It is.
It is, like, 'cause I came from slinging donuts.
Yeah.
I was B2C, a business to consumer.
100%.
And then I've gone B2C, B2C, just fucking B2B, just everything, B2D, B2 fucking whatever the fuck it is.
Like, I've so, like, you know this, like, I've so much respect for you and stuff like that, but, like, how did you find, if you don't mind me asking,
No.
how did you find going from working yourself to working for someone else again? Was that an adjustment?
It was, but it was a nice adjustment because it was a safe adjustment. There's something to be said being number 2 or number 3. I'm obviously number 2.
Yeah.
I'm down the food chain, but just there's a steady paycheck.
Yeah.
I know this is happening. I know my hours.
Yeah.
Like, I loved working for myself, but near the end, it was fucking stressful as fuck.
I believe you.
Like, my back was fucked.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm pretty sure I was losing hair. I'm pretty sure, like, Jules, like, you're shedding in the shower. I'm like, how? I'm not.
Dude.
But anyway, that's what it was. I had fucking people I owed money to.
Yeah.
I had to make up the staff wages weekly. Like, there's times I had to borrow money off my parents to pay the staff. Like, it was just, it's what it was. Like, it just dwindled, and the second shop was my downfall.
Yeah, I know.
I've actually never talked to Huckleberries. There you go. First female and first time Huckleberries.
There she is. Crow, what you call it? Crowbar in it.
Yeah, second shop was my downfall. Somewhat egotistical, but also it was a kind of a not a panic decision, but it was a decision I thought would bump us. Yeah. Because South Terrace had quietened down a small bit. Yeah. I thought, right, we can get a second location in the city centre, take on all our competitors.
It's a risk, like, do you know what I mean?
2 to 1. I'll have two shops to their ones. Yeah. The rent was 6 or 7 times the amount of South Terrace, so per month.
Okay.
So it was, and then
I think that spot as well. I don't know. There's something about certain spots in town, isn't there? And that's
that was it. It's just like that area at the Roundy. People they're on a destination. They're going somewhere. Yeah. Oh, I have to go to Boots. They're not going to go, I'll get a box store. Where in South Terrace, whatever way we built it, it was a destination. 100%. We're going to get donuts. Yeah. Yeah, and that was the idea, and that's what worked. Yeah,
for sure. And like, I'll never ever, as long as I live, forget. So I was working in Otterbox, which is on George's Quay.
Yeah. And, I remember that actually.
Yeah, and I remember I dropped you guys in lots of cases, raided the box. Yeah. What are you doing? Going to get us free donuts? Go! But I remember it was Donut Day, and you were giving away the box.
Donut Day.
And that's right.
Was crazy.
And I started work. I think we were about to launch a campaign in Paris around that time. I was in work at the crack of dawn. It was about like 7:30, I think. And I walked into the canteen to get a coffee, and I looked down, and when I say like an insane queue, I was like, this is literally for donuts. Like,
it's ridiculous. Started at 5 o'clock, about 5:15.
People from like all over the place.
It was insane. Yeah,
insane.
That was one Facebook campaign.
Jesus, man.
It's just targeting, and then what happened was we got that audience. So before we opened the door, there was about 300 to 400 people in the queue.
Wow.
All the way down South Terrace, like ridiculous shit. Like, I would never, but that's just me. But then, but it was a lot of things lined up. Yeah. The kids had that day off in school. It was a Friday. The kids were off. It was just whatever worked. It worked. Yeah. And the marketing campaign helped. Yeah. And then at about 9:15, the Neil Prendeville show rang me and had me on air. What? So then that just grabbed everyone and drove. We had, I think it was 1,800 donuts for that day.
Oh my God.
And I had to call the donut guy to get 2,000 more donuts at 11:10 or something. It was insane.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and we sold out that day as well. So we sold out like 3 o'clock.
Oh, Jesus. Like, it
was class.
It's the best thing ever.
I thought I was fucking Jesus. I was
of course,
marketing?
But you would.
I got this, motherfucker.
Come on, though. You would. You would, though.
You would.
Listen, you know, it's hard to... I know myself, like, when things go good and that feeling you get where you're like, geez, I know we're here talking about comedy and stuff, but, like, digital marketing is, like, my bread and butter. It's my hobby as well as anything else. Yeah, you know yourself. Like, and Jesus Christ, you were a god at that point. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
definitely ego-wise, I was like class, but I was so lucky that I vlogged it. I captured like literally 85% of the journey.
Amazing.
53 episode vlog series of Huckleberries. Now, I have one saved that I did when we closed. I didn't put it out.
Yeah, I remember you put the bloopers out though, didn't you? Was that the interview?
Oh, that was Dave Sweeney's podcast.
Yeah,
so I actually did a vlog of just me talking to camera for like 11 minutes of what happened, where it went wrong. But I said I'd keep it because the staff weren't paid for the last week. I think the liquidation, all this kind of stuff. No, I think, I don't have the liquidators sorting them out, but I was like, I'm cutting it. So I just pulled it back, and I think the last one is just us chatting or something. And like we had amazing times, I had amazing staff, and I had about 5 weeks off then. I was looking for work and I wasn't looking for work.
Bits, yeah,
I was doing small bits, and some people have come to me and said, "Can you do this for us?" And I'm still doing that on the side here and there, some websites or social media for people. And then Frank and DC were like, "Let's grab a coffee." I was like, "Class. This place is class." Like,
it's a great fit for you. It really is. And I remember when you told me you got it, I think I can see how it's mutually beneficial for everyone. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see,
I have a fucking podcast studio to hand.
Listen,
son.
Results, you can't argue with them. No, 100%, 100%. It's such a good fit, and like I've been familiar with Republic of Work obviously since day one for various reasons.
Yeah.
But she knows I'm here. It's fine.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, and look, Jesus, it's a great business, and now they've got a great marketer.
We're talking right here, and the Taoiseach is like,
I know,
50 yards down the road, or literally in our next room.
Well, we can talk about the Taoiseach if you want.
Leo, son. Sup, son? Burst
Leo. What's the story?
That's what it is. Like, that's with Today FM. Everyone walking on. Pat Kenny's usually popping around, or Dave, and it's like just a great little hub. Like,
I remember the video of Frank and a few of the staff putting together the furniture, the speed thing. You know what I mean? Like, I remember the day it opened, like not the official opening, like the actual
Soft
day
open.
they opened it. Yeah. And I just look at it now and I'm like, that's
cool.
Unbelievable.
Check out the place. Come for a tour.
Yeah, come for a tour.
It's marketing. Two marketers talking about tours
and conversion rates. Let's talk about that. Yeah, no.
We're still doing really well on mail.
Yeah,
mail campaigns for us are killing it.
That's fantastic. Do you know, we actually just run a mail campaign as well in Mardyke. We done it for Barcadia and Holy Smoke, and we literally just focused on 1.2 kilometres around the centre. Yeah, and it's getting decent.
Do you do that MailChimp? Kilometres or?
Oh, sorry. I thought you as in email marketing. Yes, having great return on that for the Wonky Donkey in particular. Yeah. But we actually done
Messenger, like actually.
No,
Facebook.
I done like a non-post like campaign.
Really?
Yeah. Now it's expensive, but you
Old
draw
school.
your map. Yeah. Like, because my bosses will tell you this as well. Yeah. It's not that I don't believe in offline marketing. I think they have to go together. Offline and online.
I got in trouble with the old radio station I used to work for. Because in a vlog I was like, fuck radio, fucking wasting your money and fucking shit. And
like $6,000 for a bus shelter campaign? No.
One of the sales rep got back to me and they were like, I was like, fuck off. Like, but you ran a bus campaign, didn't you?
They did.
With the directions all weird. I remember going, bitch, what the fuck is it?
Yeah, that was, can I just clarify, before I came in the door, that was all agreed and signed off on.
Hey, now we're not knocking anyone, but fuck them at the same time.
Are we not?
Yeah, fuck y'all. You fucked up. You fucked that campaign up.
Listen.
But it's amazing. You can spend so much and fuck up and just see no return.
I just, and that's the one thing I love about digital
It's the smallest thing you could do right.
Yeah.
And it costs £100. Yeah. And you have 500 people outside the door.
And do you know, the thing about digital is it's so traceable, and for someone who's such an overthinker, that's
exactly what I said.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, they're like, oh, we should, do not Republic of Work are quite open, but they have a PR company, Healy Communications.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Healy, yeah.
Cover all bases.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the people who don't invest in social, because you can literally see where like if I did a radio campaign, again, we're going to knock radio, sorry guys, but we're not going to knock them, but like just you can't see the numbers. Yeah. There's no
100%.
ROI. It could have been heard by this. It's like, what do you mean it could have been heard? Yeah. But now Facebook is so pay to play.
Oh man,
it's tough.
It is.
Facebook marketing is tough these days.
Like it's actually at a point where I never thought that we were all past email marketing, but I really kind of, as areas of digital marketing go, it's not the area I enjoy the most. Email marketing, in terms of building the templates and list maintenance and all that. But actually, it is consistently the best ROI for us anyway. You know what I mean?
We have a huge open rate. Still.
That's fantastic. And actually, I'm not just saying this. I always open your emails because I love.
It's just whatever's going on. Yeah,
exactly.
Because there's so much different things happening here, which is great. Now I've been trying to sneak in the old sales ones here and there, and I'm getting them open rates. So I'm guessing they're going to drop soon. When people are like, "Oh, it's a salesy one," but if it's like events, you're like, "Oh, cool." Because we have a bake sale coming up for the guide dogs, and literally it was cakes and puppies. What more do you want?
Literally.
And then tickets just went boop. Yep, that's full. That's almost full. That's good.
Do you know what? I done a campaign. I had been slogging for the Wonky Donkey the last few weeks, to be honest. Like, do you know, my emails, the open rates weren't hitting the usuals. My click rates were abysmal. And then I sent one out the other day, and it was like the payday sale. And
I got that too.
Yeah, so there you go.
So
literally, and I'm gonna admit now, the template wasn't even great, but like my best friend Christine, shout out, she she was having a moan the other day about how long April was, because it's a 5-week month, 5-week month. I'm fortunate if I get paid weekly, but she was like, oh my god, I can't wait to get paid, and la la la. So I literally based the campaign off, it's payday this week, like, exactly, you know, treat yourself, April was a long month, la la la.
That's it.
Shot through the roof. Couldn't believe it. Delighted.
So that was my style of marketing, was the run and gun guerrilla style. Yeah, fucking go, post it now, blah 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 blah. Yeah. But with this place, I'm like, oh, I actually have to. Oh, maybe someone should approve me seeing this or doing that. Or so I find myself when I'm on Twitter responding to people, I'm like, oh yeah, class. I'm like, oh wait, no. Delete that.
You sounded exactly like Shane Clifford there.
Yeah.
Oh, class.
Yeah, fucking class. But it's like, nope, that would be great. Or do you know what I mean? It's like,
so professional.
But you have to be. It's, you know,
when it's not your brand. I always say this as well, to people, you know, who are looking kind of like, or talking to me about digital marketing and stuff like that. When it's not your brand, you can't be too careful. You literally can't be. Yeah. And I've been fortunate enough to work with like 2 comedians who were initially running the social for the Wonky Donkey and stuff. And there was times I was sweating over, you know what I mean? Because my personal, like, you follow me on my personal, it's like, I'm effing and blind and left, right and centre.
Yeah.
But when it comes to work, I'm the complete opposite, obviously, you know yourself. And sometimes like I'd be watching the lads get into like things on Twitter or Instagram, and I'm like, please, like, we had a group chat called 2 guys 1 dub, and like I'd be like, is this the best thing to be saying right now? And they're like, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, that's so like, that was my approach with Hux. If they don't like it, unsubscribe or unfollow.
Definitely.
Just type 2. How much trouble I got in that for fucking that donut? The type 2.
That was insane. I will never forget that.
I just like, type 2 is the one you give yourself, lads. Calm down. No, I can see why parents got offended. I can see all that point. But the idea is that I just stated that type 2 diabetes is the one you give yourself, and this was more than likely going to give it to you if you keep going.
Listen,
with our donuts. But
let's talk about offence for a second, right?
I'm offended.
Yeah, I'm offended.
I hate it.
I had this, listen, and it's funny because, again, we're talking about marketing and comedy, and they actually kind of go hand in hand here as well, which is an interesting thing. I genuinely believe, and I had this debate recently, that like offence is a choice, you know what I mean? It's like,
it's an opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion. It's like, oh, I'll laugh about this topic and that topic with my mates down the pub, but when you start joking or you get up on stage and talk about something that I care about, okay, now I'm offended. I'm like, well, you know, and listen, there's, as a comedian, or can I call myself that yet? I don't know.
14, I think you can.
Yeah, 14 gigs.
Hold on, have you been paid?
Yeah.
Y'all professional.
Yeah, bro.
You've been paid, you're professional.
Pint of Guinness, got it. Mike was like, why wouldn't you frame it? And I was like, why wouldn't I buy a pint with it?
Sure, I'd sit there like, shit, I should have framed it.
Yeah, no, literally I was, but then I was like, that pint went down exceedingly well. But yeah, listen, I have stood there on stage and made fun of myself, and I have stood there on stage when people are making fun of you know, the LGBTQ society or whatever, you know, and that kind of thing. And obviously there is lines, and in my opinion there's certain things I would never personally joke about or whatever, but at the same time, like, I just, again, back to that type 2 diabetes thing, I get why people are like bit edgy, but at the same time it was stupid in my opinion. Is that the right word? Yeah, and I loved the tongue-in-cheek response with the donut with no name.
Yeah, we're like, okay. And then we donated all the proceeds to Diabetes Ireland of that weekend, and it's like, it is what it is.
And all the people that were moaning at you, how much did they?
There was so much hate, as in like, I hope you close your business and your family loses their home. It's like absolute hate through Facebook. It's like, I will never darken the door of your business, and it's like, you live in Belfast.
Yeah.
What are you doing commenting on this? Like, it's just these fucking Facebook warriors.
100%. 100%.
Put the fucking phone down, Melinda, and fuck off back to complain to some other manager.
Back to Asher's Bakery.
Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
Stop, like, do you know what I mean?
Definitely. No, look, I again, it comes down to, you know, like, can you be too careful with a brand? Never. But, like, at the same time, you know, you said you gave all the money to Diabetes Ireland. Fair play to you. You put the money where the mouth is.
Nicely.
How did
That's why I seem to be pretty good at it, is offending people and then going, spin, charming, offensive charm.
Two gorgeous brown-eyed people sitting here talking away. But like, how much money did the people who were moaning at you give to Diabetes Ireland that week as well? Do you know? Nothing.
Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
It's true as well, but look.
Yeah.
Lessons learned, as they say.
Absolutely.
Fucking hell. That's my problem, I think. Like Scott Capurro, episode 2, if you want to jump back, he's
great
fucking
episode.
Amazing. There's his voice. That Californian voice is perfect. He's such. So did you hear what happened with that?
What?
So, I saw your advertising that Scott Capurro was in town. I said, cool, I'm going to reach out. Reached out on the website. He was on the Friday night or the Saturday night. I messaged him on Thursday.
Yeah.
He got back on Friday. He said, I'm in. I've just landed. I'm going to sort out blah, 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 blah.
Amazing.
Let's do it tomorrow. I said, cool, Saturday.
Yeah.
Came in here, met him like cold, literally met him downstairs.
Yeah.
And he just, hey guys, so what the fuck? And he just literally like a buddy that we've talked to for years.
Yeah, yeah.
Came up, we chatted outside for 15, 20 minutes. Myself and Keane himself. Came in, did the podcast. We went to his show with him. Yeah. We had dinner with him.
Amazing.
Watched his show, and then we walked around town. We got a coffee for half an hour. Like, we were with him for 4 or 5 hours.
And
he was just an absolute gentleman.
That's it. Like,
and it's just, he was so He's comedy. And he offends.
Yeah, man.
He
doesn't give a shit.
Here like a little Thai boy in the cave. It's like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? It's like, how is he getting away with this? Like, and he was mocking some guy's limp eye, and he was mocking some other fat girl, and he was like, oh, but look, it's okay, I'm too skinny as well.
Exactly.
But, like, it's like, but he gets away with it. He's so good.
It's a sassy gay thing as well, I think, right? Yeah. But no, Scott, Jesus, he's amazing. So I actually wasn't around that weekend. I think I was away that weekend.
Yeah.
And there's not many people that I am raging when I miss, but Jesus, I was raging when I missed him. But we have the video of it or whatever, and I watched it after, and God, he's got that beautiful blend of likability and a tongue that could clip a hedge. You know what I mean? And
callbacks. He's non-stop, just hitting them, callback after callback, and they're like, what the fuck?
So intelligent, man.
So good.
So
there's definitely that's the problem. I probably wouldn't get into comedy because I'm not intelligent enough for it.
Yes, you are. Are you crazy?
I don't think I am. That's why, you know, I'd love to get in stand-up. I've said this several times on the podcast. I've said it, but I was like, I think I'd go to the offensive side.
Okay.
In a lack of intelligence, that makes sense.
Okay.
I'd try to, instead of wooing someone with comedy, I think I'd try and say something to get a reaction, if that makes sense. Which isn't the right way to do it.
I think there's a method of doing it. So, like, if you know me in my day-to-day life, and my best friends will tell you this, I have no filter. Like, I don't get me wrong, I turn the charm on when, like, I'm in work or whatever, and I have to, but, like, realistically, I'm literally, like, I'm borderline, sorry to use this word, I'm borderline autistic sometimes, because I'm like, man, that, you know, like, I'll just say things and they're like, I cannot believe you just said that. But when it came to comedy, I approached it in a different way, obviously, because I think everyone thought I was going to get up there, F and blowing my way and make sex jokes all the time and blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong, I still might.
It's coming.
It's coming. Just not in my initial couple of sets.
Pardon that one also.
But, I think there's a way of getting them on board, and I think Scott is a very, very good example of that, where he kind of not lures you in, although he'd probably love my use of that word, but it's you get them on board with you. So again, advice I got before was, if you go straight in with the insulting people and the whatever, people do, the crowd as a whole react as like they tense up. They're like, who's this guy? Like, who the shit is this guy? I've seen people, hecklers as well. It's really funny. I've seen the different styles of people dealing with heckles, and people ask me all the time, are you nervous about heckles? What I'm actually nervous about is me saying a line, realise I forgot to say something, doubling back, confuse myself, whatever. Heckles aren't the worst thing in the world, but I've seen people deal with heckles differently. So I've seen people, there was, I won't name the comedian, but someone was talking in the middle of a show in the Wonky Donkey, and the comedian was like, oh, sorry, is that a really engaging conversation? And it was a boyfriend and girlfriend or a husband and wife or whatever. And your man was like, yeah, actually, it is a really interesting conversation. And the comedian was like, oh, you must have married, she must have married you for your conversation skills then, because it certainly wasn't for your fucking looks. And everyone literally just went, oh. And then the comedian went straight back into being the clown and being the nice guy and that kind of stuff. And that
was
rap
like, on the knuckles for them, like.
Yeah, and it can leave the audience being a bit like, hold on, what happened there? Because you were being a nice person and then you were a dick and then you were a nice person again. Where then I've seen other comedians like just be like, you know, oh, yeah, you know, it's on the TV, lads, we can hear you, you know, don't worry about it, it's just my hopes and dreams up here that we're talking about, but whatever, you know.
And then they're still on your side,
exactly.
You can lose an audience very quickly on stage.
Very quickly. And it's amazing when you start to, because like I've always been a fan of comedy and all that kind of stuff, but like, you know, when I'm sitting there like shooting the shit with people and they're like, oh, have you seen this person, that person, whatever, and I'm like, oh no shit. But like what I have seen is like week on week like comedians of an outstanding calibre come to the Wonky Donkey, and I've watched them, I've learned to kind of read the room with them, if that makes sense. So you know within the first, like, well, when it's you on stage, you know within the first 10 to 30 seconds this can be a good gig or this can be a fucking rough gig.
You know the audience straight
away. And I feel that now as well, you know. And I think as an audience member you feel it too. Like we always say, laughter is contagious. It totally is. So if there's a lack thereof, oh Jesus, you feel
it's a fucking cold room, like.
Oh man, I had my first really cold room there in McCronan's, which was so Mike is running a comedy night in upstairs in Jim Cashman's every Thursday. And so we go out and flyer, it's good crack. And yeah, we got up and
you go flyering, we go out flying. You're a digital marketing expert.
Yeah. Yep.
And you hate traditional marketing.
Listen, it's only off the ground. Yeah. Jeez, we've packed the room out with like I'm talking a tiny room. Like it's not much bigger than the studio. Yeah. And we fit like 30, 35, 40 people in. Like,
they're a nice audience, I'd say, are they?
Yeah, they are. And it's usually, so it's like a nice mix of like tourists and, because at the end of the day it's free, right? So like you said, you see the guys outside being like, free comedy. It's easy to get them in. So that's what we're doing at the moment. And we got people in, and like, I mean, like there was a group of friends that were queer, which was great, and mostly young. There was a nice like bunch of comedians there. The lineup was really good. So we had like Mike was hosting, Dennis Len, Roger O'Sullivan, Thomas Howarth, all really solid. And I got up first, not a bother at all. I don't mind that. People came in, I think maybe 3 times in the middle of my set. Again, I can handle it, it's fine. But Jesus, like some of my big knockout lines just fell flat in their face, and that was the first gig where I was like, fuck, like, you know, feel, you almost don't enjoy it, you know what I mean? Like it's painful sometimes, but like it's easy though for a comedian to turn around and be like, oh, it was a shit audience. It's like, well, it was a shit audience, or were you just shit? But then when I saw the other guys go up there and, you know, not get the laughs they generally do, you're kind of like, okay, right.
Okay, that's the thing. That's how you gauge against each other, exactly. Back and forth, right? I wasn't shit tonight. No. Well, I might have been. But at the same time, like, if the lads are like, are the lads honest with you? Where you're like, that was a bit weak, or
I think that's
quite I think there's a lot of egos in the game, I'd say, is there? Yeah.
Oh Jesus, yeah. And you know what? Actually, shout out to the Cork lads. Every single one of them has been such a gent to me, and I'm so glad that I've started doing this comedy thing down here as opposed to Dublin. Not that like I've met so many nice people. I've done 2 gigs in Dublin now, which has been great, packed with my family and friends, whatever, and it's been good crack. And everyone's been lovely there too. But I know what's going on in Dublin at the moment. You know, you hear and blah blah blah. Now, obviously, Cork is smaller, but I'm sure there is politics. But to be fair, like I haven't come up against it just yet. You know what I mean? Like the guys have been nothing but lovely, really have. I owe everyone in Cork a favour at the moment, but there was one gig in Collins, I remember, and it was actually the set I'm running with at the moment was the first time I'd done it there. It's an open mic, and the guy that got up immediately after was he was a bit he was a bit off the cuff and that kind of thing, and he kind of started ripping on like female comedians and made a kind of smart remark about like lesbians and stuff, and he wasn't getting any laughs whatsoever. And it actually got to the point, like, I knew what he was doing. I don't know if he was trying to get a rise out of me or the audience or whatever, but people were turning around looking at me like, and I'm talking like 4 or 5 people at a time. He'd say something and they'd be like, you know, and I just kept staring at him, and he sat down after and he was like, rough crowd, isn't it? And I was just like, dude, what? Like, you were shit. But yeah, no, I mean, like, everyone's been super nice to me, but I would expect certainly Mike and kind of some of the lads I know a bit better to be honest with me, be like, okay, you didn't kill it there or whatever, you know.
You missed that, or You could have tried this.
Yeah, Con's been amazing too. Like where I got off stage once and I was like, he was like, brilliant, and I was like, what can I do better? And he was like, okay, don't fall in love with certain parts. Watch all the recordings of yourself. Do this, edit, blah blah blah, whatever. So yeah, no, the two boys are class. You know, amazing.
Was there a kickback when you opened up the second club?
I knew you were gonna ask this. Listen,
because like people are loyal. Some comedians are loyal, but some are, look, a job's a job and you got to do it. It's like, that's fair enough. I think it's any game.
Like they're, I'm just trying to,
you knew I was going to ask. You don't have an answer.
I know. I'm just trying to think of the way to navigate it. Look,
let's be honest. Like marketing wise, it's you're Wonky Donkey stronger. The Coco, is it? No, sorry, it's City Limits have they have a strong history of performers who still come back 100%. Here and there. So I think it's healthy. Now, unlike the fucking donut trade where 9 donut shops opened up, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
But
motherfuckers.
Like, maybe another one, even if another one opens up.
Yeah.
That's still healthy.
Yeah.
It's still a little circle of fucking Tuesday. Do you mean it's just
100%? Like Eddie Nicholson, the owner of Mardyke, said to me before, you never set out to crush your opponents. There always has to be room for the other guy. And that's the way I see it as well. And like, it's all peace and love. Like ELE, everyone loves everyone kind of thing. It's all peace and love from our point of view. And listen, you're totally right. Like City Limits has some history behind it. Like Tommy Tiernan's gig there. How
25
many
years
times?
Is
it? 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. And like what he has done
you have to respect that as well. Like.
Absolutely, you know. But like there have been comedians who have had to pull out of gigs with us because they've been told you're never gigging City Limits again, if you know what I mean. And I listen.
It's a bit archaic. That mentality is a bit archaic. But look,
each their own, 100%. But like I think we found a nice kind of a nice balance now. Or I hope we do, because I like that. I don't see it as like out now competition, but like City Limits are kind of going with the Saturday buzz, and we are keeping it on the Friday, just because we're getting kind of demand for like and we're opening up a cinema in the Cellar Theatre and stuff like little cinema and stuff. So you know we want to be able to diversify the offering, obviously. But no, Fridays seems to be works as we get a lot of corporate groups and that kind of thing as well, right? So so that's kind of where that is. But like I don't like this animosity, you know what I mean? Like
it needs to be incorporated. Like I said to the lads, the Franklin lads who were on, we're a community. You're not competition to me.
Absolutely.
You offer differing, obviously you don't offer differing, well you do, because you've the dinner packages, you've whatever it is, but like the sooner people realise that it's community more than it's competition,
100%,
everyone raises.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's silly.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. And I like, you know, we're at the point now in Cork where, can I just say as well, the Cork comedy scene at the moment is hopping, and like to anyone listening to this, get out, support your free shows, support your local comedy clubs, support your comedians. Like I'm not just pushing the Wonky Donkey here, I'm pushing Colin's Comedy Cavern, Christopher O'Leary and what he's doing there. I'm pushing Coco. You know, like these guys are putting so much work into it, and there's such a high standard. You can go to a comedy show in Cork every single day of the week, bar maybe Sunday, and actually at that there's an open mic over in the Friary, so you'll always catch a couple of comedians there as well. So like in the national competition there, Show Me the Funny, we had 3 or 4 guys from Cork in the final, and Mark O'Keefe, shout out to Mark, he won it, and like, but the lads absolutely smashed it. Like, do you know what I mean? Dakota Mick, Jack Horrigan were there as well. They absolutely killed it, and I just think, you know, we're at an all-time high at the moment. Let's not shoot each other in the foot. Like I personally, you know, I see it as the Wonky Donkey is offering just another venue for Cork lads and you know, Irish comedians come, make a name for themselves, get paid, you know, it's a nice room, whatever. City Limits is always going to be there, man. Like City Limits, like I'm not looking to push City Limits off the thing. Now we market differently, of course we market differently, you know, but that's just because
tactics, that's just
do you know what I mean?
They have
like,
an old school. You're the new kind of blood with the younger marketing style.
100%. Like he still has the legacy. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I remember the first 6 weeks of the Wonky Donkey opening up. I would literally be on my phone for, I'd say, from 7:30 to about 8:30. People messaging us being like, "Are you guys not open? I have tickets for tonight's show." It's like, are you at Coburg Street? We are in the Marduk Entertainment Complex, because that's just when people think comedy in Cork, you know, like that was obviously the main club for so long, you know. So listen, I know Cork is small, but the comedy scene, the comedy community is hopping at the moment, you know what I mean? So let's not...
Have to try an open mic or something.
Yeah, please, Jay, please. We'll do a boot camp beforehand.
Yeah, that might be that. We've been talking for an hour, girl.
Have we? Oh my God, that was the funnest hour.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for coming in. Do you want to plug yourself one more time?
Yes, Friday night, Wonky Donkey. I'd love to have you there. Tickets available on Eventbrite. Also, we've a discount code. If it's Sinead20, so SINEAD, all capitals. You know it.
She created it.
Listen.
She's marketing for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
Dead right. We're actually having a bit of a competition with all the comedians this week, so I've made like Sinead 20, Mike 20, Laura 20, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Pastor 20. See who, So Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan done a great video this morning for his tour of his bedroom and then plugged his thing. So we want to see who ends up with the most discount codes used at the end of the week. So support me, please.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, look, you're awesome. Best of luck.
You're amazing.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Get there Friday and follow her. What's the Instagram handle?
I need to change this. I need Fuzz of K0. FUZZOFK0. It's to do with a band thing from years ago.
Don't explain it. It's just better. Good luck. Oh, hold on. Subscribe. I keep forgetting to fucking
You don't do this enough.
Subscribe. Leave reviews. Tell friends. Tag us. Share us. Appreciate it. Good luck.